been waiting for.
Come from the inside.
Yeah, he got it on the inside and that fired him. Yeah, too hungry. So that's how quickly it happens up there. So this angle won't fully show it.
Gets that.
Yeah.
So he's
it does actually. It does. It's done a beautiful job of explaining it. So just by turning into shallow there, it just punches the car off to the left, and you see how quickly it went back to the other side of the road. And that's going to be rail damage, and there's going to be a lot of ancillary equipment that's taken a bruise there. But at least he's out there, and yesterday there was some pretty long faces at one stage that he might not even be out there, and he's in a great battle at the moment with James Courtney, who's tangling with Andre Heimgartner. Will Brown is actually going to benefit beautifully. Big profit from that one, straight down the inside. So that gets him up into the top 10 now in the WD-40 entry, car number 9.
What's this now? Blocks the rear right there, bumps into Heimgartner, and Will Brown says, thank you very much.
This is the view from James Carr. He's on the dirty side of the road, makes the corner tighter here as well, and he's trying to outbrake him. You stitch all that together, and that's the outcome. So a bit of frustration there for James Courtney. Include Erebus.
Oh, in the fence. Is that Anton or Anton in the fence on the right-hand side at the cutting? He's hit the fence on the way in. I'm sorry, folks, I was a little bit behind. I was actually looking down for a lap times, and I look back up.
Safety car boards and flags.
And this is going to be a double stack scenario that Neil was just referring to. So safety car comes out, Wing Cup did. Here we go. There it is. He's missed the line. He's outside out in the grey. He's missed the inside racing line. That corridor has the grip. Let's have a listen.
That's a heck of a whack. So
that's hit hard.
That's done a lot of damage. So the Repco replay. That was the sound, and that is what it looked like. So Andre Heimgartner, Ned Whiskey, Mustang, Kelly Grove Racing. Actually, big chance he'll get done for a dangerous re-entry on that one.
Well, for Brodie Kostecki, he had nowhere to go. He was already turned in and committed.
That was scary.
So what's this? So Brodie Kostecki comes up. I actually just slightly out of shot, but that was, wow, honestly, there. Oh.
Well, he certainly checked him up, and he probably loses a spot here. Oh, not probably. He does lose a spot to James Courtney in the process. So that's definitely going to catch the eye of Motorsport Australia Race Control and the Driving Standards Advisor. And that, oh my goodness.
We just saw Dave Reynolds and Will Brown make contact in previous cars, so there's a lot of stuff going on up and down the pit lane at the moment.
I tell you, just a little bit of cloud cover and maybe a shift in temperature has lit things up because monstrous shunt for Slade. So Slade has whacked the wall big time at the top of the mountain, and he's ripped the side out of that Mustang. He's got it off the road, but Slade has binned that thing. Whoa, that is one nasty shunt. So what I was about to say is there's about 6 cars out there that have suddenly done personal bests. So the fairy tale just turned into a nightmare. And Tim Slade has made monstrous contact with the wall at the top of the hill in much the same place that Mostert came unglued in 2015. And he is filthy with himself.
Didn't see... I think they're going to keep going because the car's in a safe spot there on the inside, coming on the dead side of the road.
We did a smart job of getting it out of the way. Have a look at the replay and see what happened here. Oh, he got away from him when he fed it a gear. So as he put his foot on the brake and fed it a gear, it's jumped sideways. And by the time we pick it up, it's on its way to a 45-degree angle shunt on the outside of the road. And that has destroyed the left-hand side of that car.
Not having a genuine look. Have a listen.
Positions. Remember, they all start with roughly about 65 litres. The rules dictate they've got to drop 120 litres of BP Ultimate into the car. How they do that? Oh, Courtney's come unglued. Courtney's whacked the wall. So the cutting claims another victim. Now we may see, oh, he stalled it. We may see a safety car hit. He's got it mobile once again.
Oh.
So double yellows, massive damage. That car's going nowhere when he gets it back to the pit. This will be a carbon copy of what happened to Anton yesterday. Happened. Same deal. Oh, and that one wiped all around the outside wall. Here it is again. Ran wide in the marbles. And it's largely cosmetic, but there's no way you can race that car. Scott Pye's just done his fastest lap of the race on a 7.5. That's pretty quick. And Brody Kostecki dived to the inside when it didn't look like it was going to work and surfed across the curb, right across the racetrack. Check this out.
I have not seen that.
Full-blown Dukes of Hazzard there, 4 wheels off the deck. And then he's managed to catch it, grab the brake again to be able to steady it to get it back on. The problem is that...
For a lot over the years. So you'll see here in behind, so that's in behind Mark Winterbottom. Off the road goes Davison, trying to get back on, and here comes Jamie. He moves it over, but Whincup's got enough momentum to get down the inside relatively easily, and they'll have a laugh and a chuckle later. It's pretty serious right now. On board, just have a look, listen.
Oh, it just got away from him in the rear. Gee, you burned a lot of time. When you look at how much time it took, oh, yeah, Jack.
Action. So there's a few different methods. As we see, forward, rotated. That's in the spot where Garth's standing, so that's a spin at turn 4, and that will come from that debris that's on the road. Have a look at that. That's ridiculous. So that's going to require a tyre, probably.
We're just walking back, actually, and just caught the end of Price's spin. And the thing that's standing out for me is the little run between turn 3 and turn 4. Cars are very, very nervous on entry. There's a huge amount of junk on the apex at 4 now. But the cars are actually quite nervous on turn into turn 4. And we see it quite a lot here when the exit of turn 3, the curb's wet. But that was just a pure pitch thing where the car pitched, lost the rear tyre and spun it, and luckily kept the car off the tyre barrier at the mid-corner at 4. But we're talking about junk on the track now. It looks like a quarry out there right at the minute.
That's the first of the major players to put an indicative time down. Less sunlight now. Off the road a long way, Jack Smith down at Dandenong Road, and this will be red flag.
He's going nowhere. As that ultimately, inside front locking is the normal deal down there. Jack couldn't stop it and has gone off. He tried to gas it up and get it out the other side, but it didn't work. It looks like when a tonne and a half of supercar attacks you at high speed.
What about Van Gisbergen? Up 4 spots on the opening lap. He's out now up 5.
In the wall. In the wall, unfortunately for Bryce Forward. That's twice today that he's had trouble up in that portion of the racetrack. Now, if he can't get out, down the back of the field where the trouble begins here. So look for the Middies car. You see that Jack Smith's off the road. Bryce Forward is sliding. Gary Jacobson goes down the inside. And they made contact, and it fires Bryce into the weeds out there. And the problem is, in unusual places, Jake Kostecki's gone hunting off in the gravel down here, and he's going to stay there.
Yeah, my throttle was stuck on.
Throttle stuck. That's not good.
Flag, red flag, red flag.
That race mechanical failures are the worst. There you go. You can see that. He couldn't stop the car. He did a good job to run it straight along that verge.
Van Gisbergen's tipped it sideways in the area between turns 3 and 4. Now, if he triggers a red flag, that's a problem. So he's focused on getting reverse. He needs to be able to try and squeeze it out of there, which is what he's trying to do. And he has to not only manoeuvre the car, he's got to jink around the traffic as well.
Well done. Very composed. He wasn't too erratic there. He wasn't too nervous. He backed it out really nicely. You could see his presence of mind. You got to look
at the replay. He's in behind Di Pasquale, and it was already cranked sideways over the curb at 2, trips over the turn 3 curb, and he's got it all clamped up and keeps it well off the wall. But
in front of the Red Bull Ampol Commodores.
So Tim Slade and David Reynolds.
Double
tap, and around he went. And then there was this moment we focused on as well. So that started a bit earlier for Mark Winterbottom. It slid sideways on him at turn 6, and then he didn't get the pace off it by the time he got down to the bottom of the hill and ran it wide. Kept the throttle up and was able to get out the other side, but he gave away a big ton of space. And how's this one? So Mostert runs wide in here, plows straight ahead, shoots through the grass, the mud, and the garbage, and grip levels may be. So lots of people battling, and I didn't see this one either. So this is Jack LeBrock pointing in the wrong direction, and it looks like it might have plucked an oil line or something off Macaulay Jones' car, so it looks very unhealthy, and he parked it off to the inside between turns 1 and 2. And bonus points for Jamie Whincup, 1 minute 8.8. In fact, Jamie's done the fastest middle sector split, which is the run down the back straight. Has he got it done this time? He plummets down there.
And they touched.
Oh, he's rotated him. These two have got together yet again, but this time he redresses beautifully, Moster, but they're going to lose positions. They're going to lose positions to Heimgartner. What a crazy moment in the race. Waters gets away with it. Heimgartner.
Oh, off the road goes Davison. He parks in the middle of the road. Kostecki gets by. Nice presence of mind. So does Heimgartner. Oh, and he spin it on. That spin almost wiped out his teammate.
Something earlier. Here's the replay. So he bombs it down the inside and then tries to squeeze up on the curb. Didn't quite get it right. Tags Cam. They rotate. Chaz knows what's happened. He's cleared the throttle to try and avoid a penalty. Slows it right down, but have a look at the Marauders in the background that are about to get into the party here. So you've got Heimgartner, you've got Whincup. They're crazy wet in the mid-pack. There's no grip out there and next to no visibility.
Lost it off. So that's Chaz who made contact there with Scott Pye, and rotation there for James Courtney. So I don't know whether he got bumped from behind, but he's had a little spin there between turn 3 and 4.
Oh, this is not good. Tim Slade right rear missing. Now that'll trigger a penalty for them for not sending that car.
Okay, red flag, red flag. We've got a car stop
in a
pit
proper
entry.
state, and that's the Motorsport Australia race director Tim Schenken on the radio throwing a red flag now, and there is the 20-odd kilos of the control wheel, aluminium wheel for what happened. The Repco replay will show us that the right rear is well and truly parted company and set off on its own tour of northern Tasmania. And they were so fast at Bathurst, and then late in the game, unfortunately, he whacked the wall. And then that also incentivised Jamie Whincup to fire around the outside, and that's the sad image of Nick Percat also just getting hooked up on the fence down there.
Bergen, who tries to force car 97 down the inside of 17, he's been turned. There's contact there with Jack LeBrock. He's also gone into the fence on the right-hand side. So Di Pasquale's been turned by LeBrock. Oh, who was that off on the right-hand side there?
Well, that was at very high speed. I think he got back on, whoever it was. Davison.
Oh, it's going to be a monster.
James Courtney and Jack Smith in trouble down here at turn 2. Now, yesterday I talked about the fact that it's normally a fuck that made contact with Anton. It was, and around he went because he also had, LeBrock had Winterbottom in behind him. And then as this was all sorting out, here we are now with Winterbottom.
So what's Heimgartner's on your right? What's this? Bang.
Okay, that explains a bit more of it. But who was it that... Who was it that toured the track?
He's doing 1,000,000 miles an hour to the right. Yeah, it's Kostecki.
Jeez, that's high-speed potato farming, that one.
You're not wrong.
Oh. So Jack LeBrock crossed up with Andre Heimgartner on the exit of the hairpin. And you could see on the replay in the background, Fabian also coming in. Oh, James had a monster moment there. I didn't realise how big that was. It was Macaulay Jones and the Coke car that sent he and Jack Smith off into the weeds down there. Look at this. So Courtney at right angles to the direction of the traffic. And what a save.
That was a great
That's going to go in the save of the day bucket, that one.
Yep, that certainly is.